everybody, what's up, what's going on? By the way, I'm Emily May and today I'm seeing what you all think of me. You know what, actually? Let's have a plant. Does she look cute? Do you know what, maybe not, but she's my friend, so she's gonna stay here so I have somebody to accompany me in this trying time. As far as I've seen, I believe that this is quite a popular video at the minute. I've seen it in like quite a few places around the internet, and so I thought that I would just do one myself because why not? For this, when I put it in various places around the internet, I used 9 pictures of myself from when I was studying abroad in Korea, because I feel like that time in my life was when I was best represented as my true authentic self, and 1 picture of my hedgehog, so that everybody got a little treat. We all love a bit of Howard. So all of the assumptions that you gave me, I have them written down here on my iPad, so if you see me looking down kind of like this, it's because I'm trying to sort of read the questions or the assumptions. So the first one is, you are artsy / creative / you like painting. I had something along those lines suggested 4 different times. I'm really happy that I came across like that, actually. I'm not really that artistic. I used to be when I was younger. I wish I was now, and I kind of hope to be more like that in the future. I'd like to get into like painting and creative writing and like all the artsy stuff. I mean, I suppose you can say that I have a creative mind, as you can tell. I mean, I like playing Sims, we all know that. And you know, you need to be creative to make nice houses, duh. So I guess in a sense, and also from like the way that I dress or dressed, my fashion sense, it's kind of dead at the minute, but like in general, it's pretty a-okay. I would say that that was creative. You are very smart. I've had this one suggested twice. Without sounding big-headed, yes, I am pretty smart. I'm the kind of smart person who doesn't really come across as smart because I downplay myself a lot. I always say that, like, oh, I can't do this, I can't do that, whatever. But I also kind of procrastinate a lot, and I do the bare minimum to get by because I am lazy. I'm smart but lazy. That is me. So while I have like just an above average grade, and I have done like throughout my life, I've been slightly just coasting along, just slightly above average. And to me, that's kind of like, yeah, we done good. But if I wasn't that lazy and I actually applied myself to my work, I would probably, I'd probably be a lot smarter than I am. Like, it depends on how you define smart as well. Okay, do you know what? I'm not going to get philosophical. We'll just move on to the next one. You went to college or university in England. Yes, I did. And now I have a degree in Asia Pacific Studies with Korean language. You're a writer. No, I used to... Oh my god, my eye. Sorry about that, my contact lens got stuck. No, I'm not a writer. I did used to spend like all my time, and I mean all my time, like writing and reading fan fictions, like K-pop fan fictions when I was about 14. But I haven't like written or wrote anything. Written or wrote, that's the same word. It's 1 AM, please forgive me. No, but I haven't written anything since. Like, I just haven't written in years. However, I do have the basis and the, what's called the goal to write a novel. It's really good. It's about hell. You're gonna enjoy it if I ever do write it and it ever gets published. But like, so far, you know, it's an interesting storyline, and it's quite out of the box, and we have quite a diverse cast of characters. So please let me know if you're interested in reading something like that. It is gonna have like romance in it and stuff. It's actually a romance. It's probably gonna be a romance novel. So, you know, but it's about hell, if that intrigues you at all. You read a lot of science fiction. Despite what I just said about the hell thing in my other... Wait, can I even say that on YouTube? Despite what I said about the hell thing in my other answer, no, I don't. I don't really read anymore. I used to enjoy like romance, thriller, horror, like those kind of things. But these days I don't really read, and if I do read, it's like self-help and self-improvement things. You like magazines. I wouldn't say so. I have nothing against them, but I wouldn't really associate myself with magazines. No, not really. I mean, unless like Angelina Ballerina counts from when I was like 4 years old, but aside from that, not really a big fan. You love fashion. I had this one suggested to me 3 times. Yes, absolutely, definitely, 100%. I love fashion. I mean, I've kind of got fat now, so I don't really fit in most of the clothes that I own to like look and be like fashionable and groovy at the minute. But I love being like really creative and out of the box with the things that I wear, as you can probably tell by like the pictures that I provided. Or if you didn't see them, just you know, I could just like start voguing and then you might get the picture. This is it, isn't it, where they do like the big fish, little fish cardboard box thing. Oh, I got another similar one here, which was "You are trendy." I decided to put this one separate because as much as I love fashion, I wouldn't really say that I was trendy. I don't really like keep up with trends and things that are in fashion as much as like many other people do. I prefer more like I said, out of the box things. I prefer to like put my own spin on things that are slightly in fashion, but I would also go like for things that aren't in fashion or wouldn't generally be considered in fashion. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't follow trends, I just like fashion. You do theatre? I used to. Yeah, I used to. I used to like dance and act on stage and on televised productions on TV. Why am I trying to be fancy? Obviously, like, I did that when I was younger, and I don't really do it anymore now. It's no longer really a part of my life, but it is still a huge passion of mine, and I would love to get back into doing something like that in the future. Please stop. Yep, even though it's not like my career path, I'm still hugely interested in it, and I used to absolutely love like doing theatre things. You must be a model. This was a really, really sweet comment. Like, when I saw this one, it just like, it warmed my heart. I was like, oh, that's so sweet. I would love to be a model, but unfortunately I am way too small. I am 5'1", and like no company hires models that are 5'1", unless they're petite models, and unfortunately I'm not skinny enough to be a petite model. I like my food too much, and yeah, so chances are I'm probably never going to be a model, but it would be a great experience, I think, if I ever had the chance. You're uncomfortable with yourself / the way you look. Okay, the person who suggested this doesn't know me, and I'm a little bit confused as to how the pictures that I showed for making this video to these people in these different groups and on Instagram, how they actually represented that at all. I mean, there was one picture that I provided where I had like my hair permed into like this giant thing. I was wearing a black leather beret, a black leather bralette, and a high-necked, long-sleeved, floor-length, lilac silk dress, you know? And although it wasn't in the picture, I was wearing that with yellow shoes, like mustard yellow shoes, and a mustard yellow denim jacket. You tell me how somebody who's uncomfortable with themselves can go out in public looking like that. Like, I don't know if it was because like in some of the pictures I was wearing wigs, so that was kind of like me trying to change my identity, or if it was because I was like covered up. Like, maybe she meant like I was uncomfortable with my body, like not so much the way I look here, but like because like I was wearing, in all of the pictures I had, my shoulders and my chest were covered, except like maybe one. And that's just because I took all of those pictures when I lived in Korea. And in Korean culture, you don't see girls walking around kind of like you do here. Like, here we have like lots of like strappy tops. We have our shoulders out. We have low cut tops. But over there, they don't really do that. Like, sexy clothes in Korea is just like really, really super short pants and skirts. Not like low cut things at the, we don't, yeah, they don't do that. Like, you don't go out in public looking like that. So for me, that was it. So maybe she thought like, maybe it's because I'm covering up that I'm uncomfortable with my body. Maybe it's because like, if you saw the pictures, I don't have a stereotypical look for a white girl. I've never shopped at Misguided. Is that the kind of thing I should say? And you know, she doesn't like herself, and that's why she feels like I maybe feel uncomfortable with myself. Yeah, I don't really know what that was all about. And obviously, like right now, since I've gained a bit of weight, I'm not 100% with my look, but I wouldn't say that I don't like the way I look. I wouldn't ever say that I was uncomfortable with the way that I looked. Sure, there's things I would change. Sure, and I'm not like, oh, I'm perfect every single day, but I've never been like, oh my god, I hate myself, I'm so ugly. Like, I've always been extremely comfortable with who I am and what I look like, and I wouldn't change that, because you know what? I am absolutely stunning. I am flawless, and if you don't think like that about yourself, you should, because life's too short to be wishing you could change anything. This got really deep. Yeah, but those pictures were taken when I was like at my peak. So like I love myself the most then, as you could probably tell by the way I was posing and everything. I was like, I thought I was a model. I might not have been, but I thought I was. Like genuinely, I adored myself then. Not gonna lie. I really thought I was something special. But you know what, that's because I am. And you know what, we are just promoting self-love in 2020. The next one, you're quite shy. Maybe, I suppose in like large groups I am. From the social side of things, from like a social aspect, I am. But at the same time, I'm pretty good at public speaking. So I think socially I'm kind of shy. But in terms of like public speaking and being on stage and in the theatre and things like that, I wouldn't have said so. Obviously, it depends on the situation, I guess. You're confident. Again, another one that's kind of situational. In myself, yes. Like, just generally about me, yes. About some things in general, I wouldn't say so. Like, my abilities. Like, not unless I know that I can do them perfectly. So, as an example, my Korean, I know I'm not perfect at. So, I'll just say I can't do it. Like, because my confidence is like, bam, it's like down here. But I'm pretty good at acting. And I'm pretty confident about that because I know I'm good at it. Does that make sense? Like, things that I'm good at, I'm confident in. Things that I'm not good and not bad at, like, maybe if I'm average, if I could get something wrong about it, like, I'm terrible at it and I have zero confidence. Because do you know what? If I'm not right, then that is the end of me. I am always right about absolutely everything. And if you know me, you'll know that I've never been wrong. And in that case, like, if you do know me and you can think of a time that I've been wrong about something, please let me know down in the comments box, because I would love that. I would love for somebody to put me in my place and be like, Emily, you're wrong about everything all the time. Because I genuinely just think I need to get a grip on some things. You like attention. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm sat here, like, I can't be fooling anybody. I'm sat here filming a video to put on the internet for people just to watch me talk. Yeah. Obviously I have to like attention to be able to sit here and do this. Like, what is the point otherwise? And like, also I'm planning on moving to a country where I get stared at in the street like every day of my life. In terms of things like that, like, I can't not like attention. It's not that I'm an attention seeker. I don't go out of my way to be like loud and in your face and like blah, you know. I like good attention, not people thinking like, oh my god, I wish you would shut up. You like to go thrift shopping. I'm gonna sound like a really bad person here, but like, I know that we're meant to be like stopping fast fashion and all that, but like, I don't really go for thrift shopping. I have one thrifted item, and that's a men's Fred Perry t-shirt that I got in Manchester. I do, however, really love watching like thrifting videos on YouTube and hauls and things like that, so I could really get into it. But I buy most of my clothes when I'm in Korea from like small or independent companies. So I like to think that I'm supporting smaller businesses rather than just, you know, fast fashion and all that. Okay, and the next one. You like older music. Not really. Some of it, I mean, I guess my music taste is very diverse. I like foreign music, like K-pop, Spanish music, Europop, like Eurovision kind of songs. Like 2012 was a good era for like everything. My music taste is honestly all over the place. It goes from like screamo to K-pop to Europop. It's just like, don't even ask me what it is, to be honest, because I couldn't tell you. It's guilty pleasures. Like, that is my music taste. Things that anybody else would be embarrassed to admit that they listen to. You like makeup and old-fashioned styles. Yeah, I like makeup as much as any other 22-year-old woman. I'm well aware that without it, I still look 14. But that aside, I do quite like makeup. I generally prefer wearing Korean makeup and like Korean makeup styles, but like, as you can probably tell by the way that I look now, like I do some Western things, like the red eyeshadow. Like, this is not, it's not really a thing here either though, is it? It's like, yeah, I mean, what I'm trying to say is I like doing colourful looks, like eyeshadow looks with Western makeup. But then for like natural looks, I'll just use Korean makeup. I use Korean makeup usually as like BB cream for my skin, for my lips, like just things like that. In terms of the old-fashioned styles, it depends what we're talking about here. Because if we're talking about like those huge Victorian dresses, I would wear those every day of my life if I could. Like I said before, I prefer really out-of-the-box fashion, and those huge Victorian dresses, they are it. Struggle to find your foundation shade. Yeah, as I said before, like I prefer Korean makeup, and they often have like really light, like, well, light in application, but like also light in terms of shade, BB creams. So they're what's like best for me to use. I have to say that I have made the mistake of going into Western stores before, just like here in England, buying something and being like, oh yeah, this is in the lightest shade, it will work. Getting home, putting it on, and it just being like, no, honey, nah. Though I did manage to find in the Body Shop, they have these little bottles, and they're like either lightening or darkening things to add to your foundation to match it closer to your shade. So none of those that I got that weren't in my shade ever went to waste. I just mixed the thing in that I got from the Body Shop into there, and yeah, I used them all. They were good. You have lots of plants. Yeah. Yeah, I have quite a few plants. If you haven't yet seen my plant video, I would suggest like go watch it if you're a plant person and want to see all the plants that I do have. You have lots of pets. Oh, I wish I had lots of pets, but unfortunately, like, I travel too much and I'm not like tied to one location. So unfortunately at the minute I have 2 pets. I have a lizard in England and a hedgehog in Korea. I did film a video about my pets where I introduce them to you and you get to see them, and like, they're just adorable. Like, if you haven't seen that yet either and you want to see my cute little pets, like, go check it out. That was fun. You love trying new things. I only really like trying new things if I'm interested in it. I'm not like an adventure seeker or anything. I wouldn't want to go like diving or whatever, like skydiving or like parasailing or like whatever it's called. I enjoy doing things that I'm actually like interested in. I might learn pottery. You are a small YouTuber. Yes. You are the English child. Nope, I'm the oldest child, and despite her being taller than me, my younger sister is actually 7 years younger than me. Did I say that right? If you haven't yet seen any videos with me and my sister, because, you know, obviously you assumed that I was the youngest, go check some of them out. The best one, I think, the one that most people have enjoyed, was the fire noodles challenge, because she didn't fare too well, bless her. Bless her, cotton socks. Your hair is bright and cheerful, just like your personality. Yeah, it is. I don't dye my hair. I just got kind of like lucky, I guess, with what was randomly generated at birth. Ooh, this one's pretty interesting. As soon as you got into K-pop and Korean culture, you knew you would have a Korean boyfriend. This one for me is like pretty difficult to answer. So I did make some notes on it. So if I'm looking down here while I'm talking, it's because there's a lot that I kind of had to think out before I spoke about this one, because I don't want to sound like, you know, I have a problem. I'm not a Korea boo. I'm gonna say no right off the bat, because I've always, like, even before then, I've always liked guys who are like kind of small and like skinny with like dark hair and dark eyes. Just like those main kind of features. That's just been my type. Like, those are just my preferences for any man of like any race, you know. But there's obviously like way more East Asian men like that than there is white men, because obviously you've got like all the blondes, all those guys who are like macho, big, muscle man, you know, all that. Although there is also like many bad stereotypes about Korean guys, which in the past I have found out to be true. And I think at times when I was like meeting some other Korean guys, it kind of like put me off them a little bit. No offense, honey pie, if you're watching. It didn't put me off you. I still love you, okay? Yeah, my boyfriend now is Korean, if people don't know that. I wasn't just being like, yay, I love all the... Nah, that was directed at my boyfriend. I've dated guys from lots of different races and cultures. And ethnicities. You know, I've dated Korean, Japanese, white, British, European, and I think that was like, you know, a general mix from like the groups of people that I was interacting with at the time when I was dating these people. However, when I moved to Korea, you know, the chances of me dating a Korean guy went from like here to like here, because like most people in Korea are, you know, you guessed it, Korean. Yeah, and it kind of like when I moved to Korea, I kind of got settled, got happy, like met a few other people. But then when I finally met somebody who was interested in actually dating me and was actually a pretty decent person most of the time. See, I'm being nice. Who was actually a really nice person. And, you know, he didn't just want to like play around with my feelings or just be like, oh yeah, I got a white girlfriend, haha. Men. Yeah, it kind of just so happened that I've stuck with him because, you know, he's lovely. Yeah, I think that's all that I really have to say on that matter. So, like, just to break it down. 1, not a Korea boo. 2, Korean guys are pretty, you know, on the most part, pretty hot. Ignore everybody that's like, oh, they don't all look like K-pop idols. Like, you go to Korea, you walk across Hongdae, like, you just walk down the street, and you tell me that all the men don't look like K-pop idols, because more than 50% of them do. Mine doesn't, but, you know, a lot of them, a huge majority of them, like don't listen to these people who are just like, oh, they're just normal guys. Yeah, some of them are, but others are like, they're like models just walking down the street, honest to God. So the next one, you're loyal. Yeah, often to a fault. That's not just in terms of relationships, that's like friendships as well, jobs, anything that I commit myself to, I am, yeah, loyal to a fault, I would say. You don't talk to many people from school. Honey, I hadn't talked to many people when I was at school. I speak to about like 3 or 4 people maybe from school. So that's probably like the same, if not like maybe more than the people I talked to from university. And the last assumption that I have here is you don't like living in England. I know that only one person commented on this, but I feel like there's probably quite a few people who know me that might have this misconception. No, I love living in England. We have custard creams and shepherd's pie. I just don't like England being like so far from Korea. Like, if I could like get on the train like in Leeds and then like go to Manchester and that be the difference between here and Korea, I would be a very happy bunny. If I could live in one half the time and then the rest of the time, like England and Korea, half and half completely, I like that would be peak. Like that would be the creme de la creme of my life. But unfortunately that's not how visas work, and it's not how coronavirus works. So yeah, at the minute, no can do. It's like when I'm in England, I miss Korea like mad. When I'm in Korea, I miss England like mad. It's not fun, I would say, being stuck in England, but at the same time, I wouldn't want to indefinitely be stuck in Korea either, if you know what I'm saying. But yeah, apart from that, I really like living in England. That is it for my assumptions. Thank you so much to everybody who sent them in. Like, I'm so grateful, because I thought, what if I make this? Like, what if I make these posts and like I get like 2 comments? I am not gonna have a video, but genuinely you all really came through with it, and it just made me so happy to see how much, like, what you all thought of me as well. Like, even if you were wrong in some cases, like most of it made me really happy. It really means so much to me to have your support, and if you feel like making my day, you can just, you know, go ahead and subscribe or leave a little like on this video. Like that would make me even happier. I think it would be fun. I think we would have a great time, and I would be very happy to chat with you down in the comment section down here below. If there's anything you want me to clear up or clarify from this, any further assumptions you have that you might want me to address, that's the place to be.